Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to your cricket happenings. This on a Saturday with your host Ram. And well, I have to say, Sri Lanka, as was expected, there was not of a surprise at all. But the manner in which actually Sri Lanka did it was something a joy to behold. And I would say that Australia have been absolutely humiliated in this series as Angelo Matthews of Sri Lanka has and his team has already won. Underdogs, I would say. One would have termed the Sri Lankans as underdogs, and look at what they have done. They have taken the Australian team by the scruff of the neck, and they have dumped them literally with taking a 2-0 series lead. In fact, they have already won the series. It's a 3-test series, and in the way they did it, I mean, if you look at it, they had the problem of Rangana Herath. Then they had Lakshan Sandakan, the spinner who didn't bowl much at all in this particular match. And look who is the hero. The hero today was Dilruwan Perera, the right arm off spinner, getting his first 10-wicket haul in Test cricket. And what a moment for him. As I said, on the third day, the Australians were totally packed up today. Packed up. And if you look at the score there, well, it really makes sorry reading as far as the Aussies are concerned. They were all out for 183, and Sri Lanka went on to win by a margin of 229 runs. And Dilruwan Perera, everyone knows he was the man of the match, but look at the way what he did. So let's have a look at the let me first talk about this Australian innings, and then we will come back to the match, which is very well poised at Birmingham in Edgbaston. We are getting into the fifth day, where England are 414 for 5. They have done well, but they are leading by 311 runs, and it's only a matter of seeing as to how long England will bat tomorrow, because tomorrow is the final day and England will be giving a target to Pakistan, and probably some exciting things to come at Edgbaston in Birmingham. And also in the test match, in the second test match between New Zealand and Zimbabwe, New Zealand totally dominating with Tom Latham once again getting on to his second consecutive test run here in this series, as he was made 136, and there were others who actually came close to centuries, with Martin Guptill making 87. Kane Williamson, if at all, he's just 5 short of getting a century, which will definitely be something that he would savor. The reason being, Zimbabwe is the only team against which Kane Williamson is not having a century, and if he gets another 5 runs tomorrow morning, that's it. Kane Williamson would have got centuries against every test team in the world. And also, stumps on day 1, New Zealand were absolutely dictating terms to the Zimbabwean bowlers at 329 for 2 at close of play. But yes, definitely, there's going to be a lot of movement as far as the Sri Lanka and Australia test match is concerned, because as I said, Sri Lanka totally humiliated the Australians by winning. And let's see what happened. So they resumed at the overnight score with David Warner at the crease along with Steve Smith. Well, it didn't take long for David Warner to be dismissed, as Dilruwan Perera got Warner LBW for 41 with 7 fours. After that, it was the turn for Stephen Smith to say bye-bye to his innings, as Dilruwan Perera came in and had him caught in the closing cordon by Silva for 30 with 3 boundaries. Adam Borges definitely tried a lot of sweeps, reverse sweep shots, but nothing was coming up, and then finally he was a victim of the bowling of Dilruwan Perera for 28 with 3 boundaries. Mitchell Marsh contributed 18 with 1 boundary. Peter Neville definitely pottered around for quite some time, I would say. Mitchell Stark did a bit of a biffing, I would say, 26 with 3 fours and 1 6, but nothing, I mean, it was not coming to nothing, but it was just a matter of Australia staying there till lunchtime, and Mitchell Stark was bowled by Rangana Herath for 26 with 3 fours and 1 6, and then Josh Hazlewood was caught and bowled by Dilruwan Perera for 7. and Dilruwan Perera was the hero as he picked up wickets with customary regularity, one would say. And Peter Neville was run out on 24 with 3 boundaries. John Holland remained not out on not. 183 all out, the Aussies, and losing the second test of the series to Sri Lanka of the Shane Warne Muralidharan. So the Shane Warne Muralidharan trophy has already been won by Sri Lanka, and congratulations to Sri Lanka. And as I said, they would have been known as underdogs when they started an experience. I mean, look at the problems that Sri Lanka has. They are on a learning curve right now after the retirement of Sangakkara and Jayawardene. Their pace bowling is absolutely crippled. I mean, they have just operated with the spinners. And also, it's a sad commentary on the Australian cricket too, because Australia, this is probably their 8th loss in Asian countries, and they definitely have to look out for a way as to how to play spin in the subcontinent. Rangana here at 274. Look at the bowling figures for Dilruwan Perera. 23 overs, 5 maiden, 70 runs, and he picked up 6 wickets, 6 big Australian wickets, and also returned 10 wickets for the match, and his first 10 wicket haul in Test cricket, which gave him the player of the match. And not only that, he had one more thing that he did, and this is something that Dilruwan Perera will be very proud about. He became the fastest Sri Lankan bowler to 50 Test wickets, and what an achievement. I mean, one would probably not feel, one would have not seen Dilruwan Perera being a sort of a regular in the Sri Lankan team, and here comes Dilruwan Perera to surprise everybody, to become the fastest bowler, I mean the fastest to the 50 Test wickets, and that is a record now which stands in Dilruwan Perera's name. Dilruwan Perera absolutely bamboozled the Australians today. Sindakan, 1 for 30, did not bowl much. He got 2 wickets, 2 balls in the first inning, 6 overs, and look at that. I mean, one is really shuddering to think what is going to happen in the 3rd test, even though it's going to be a formality. Is Sri Lanka going to aim for a 3-0 clean sweep of the series? I wouldn't be surprised. Dhananjay De Silva, 2 overs, none for 2. Sri Lanka leading already won the 3-match series 2-0, and they are going to go into the 3rd match, and that is going to be an interesting one. And the Sri Lankan fans would be hoping that Sri Lanka can once again do something, but definitely it's not going to be a goal, so it could be a different ball game. All that Aussies can do now is to save some face by winning the final test match, and I feel that is going to be a sort of a big if there, because looking at the way the Sri Lankan spinners have been operating, I think the Australians are really finding it diff. I mean, they are not having a clue as to what to do, whether they have to go fully, go on the aggressive vein, go in a defensive mode, whether to play forward, whether to play backward. They are foxed by the straighter ball that comes. They don't have any clue as to that, and they are really struggling for cover here, one could say. So that is as far as that particular match is concerned. Now I will take you down to Edgbaston in Birmingham to see as to what happened there. So England resuming at their overnight score, where there were 120 for no loss, as you know, overnight. And today the Pakistanis struck very early in the piece, I would say, in the morning, as 2 wickets were nipped up pretty quickly. The breakthrough was provided by Sohail Khan, who looked listless the other day, the previous day. And today what he did is Alistair Cook was claimed pretty quickly, as he went for a wafting drive. He was caught by Yasir Shah of the Sohail Khan for 66 with 7 boundaries. And then Alex Hales, after making 54 with 10 boundaries, followed him to the pavilion, as Mohammad Amir got Alex Hales to actually waft at a delivery, and he was gone, caught by Yunus Khan for 54. And so Pakistan would have been very happy with that effort, because 2 wickets pretty quickly in the morning session, and after that there was a partnership. Joe Root was joined in by James Wynn, so they had 2 new batsmen in the middle, and we saw Joe Root and James Wynn slowly nurture the innings there. They really took their time there at the crease, and suddenly, definitely, I would say the Pakistani bowlers were having their tails up. Yasir Shah started bowling well, and they kept Joe Root and James Vince a bit quiet there. But James Vince definitely started off in splendid fashion as he creamed a boundary through the cover region, which was pretty good to see. But one thing that I would say here, as far as the James Vince batting is concerned, was James Vince today, as you know, he always had the fallibility of wafting at a wide ball outside the off stump. But definitely Vince showed a lot of improvement. He definitely knew where his off stump was. There was some clear judgment on the part of James Vince. But it was quite a different matter altogether when he lost the wicket. The second new ball was claimed. Before that, Joe Root was a victim as Yasir Shah got him caught by Mohammad Hafiz after making 62 with 8 boundaries. And then Gary Ballance came in and joined James Vince. And Gary Ballance and James Vince slowly strode on. But finally, the second new ball was due. Vince was also trying to get himself in at that particular juncture. As I said, today he was a bit confident as to where his off stump was, and that was pretty good to see. So there was definitely some improvement in James Vince's batting tactics. Gary Ballance was there, but Gary Ballance and Vince were playing, and then, as I said, the second new ball was due. The second new ball was claimed, and it was Mohammad Amir who struck it. And this time, once again, James Vince really, after doing all the hard work, he went out in a similar manner as this time was caught by Yunus Khan of the bowling of Mohammad Amir for 42 with 7 very good boundaries. Gary Ballance was joined in by Jonathan Bairstow, and Gary Ballance, as you know, he has had his struggles against Yasir Shah. If you look at the series, his dismissals have all been to Yasir Shah down the leg side, and it was a smart move by the Pakistan captain Misbah. He had a leg slip in place, and that's what precisely happened. Yasir Shah forced Gary Ballance to go for the flick shot. Asad Shafiq was positioned there, and Asad Shafiq snapped up that catch, and Gary Ballance was walking after making 28 with 4 boundaries. And that is something that Gary Ballance has to get over. He has this fallibility of flicking in the air, and the leg slip is definitely coming into the picture. And after that, we saw, that was the time when one could say the second new ball had actually got some dividends for Pakistan with a score on 282 for 5. They were 178 ahead at that stage. But after that, we saw Jonathan Bairstow really get himself reined in along with Moeen Ali, and then there was not much that the Pakistani bowlers could do as Jonathan Bairstow and Moeen Ali saw to it that England finished strongly in the end, as this particular partnership went on to add 132 runs unbroken stand towards close of play, with Jonathan Bairstow not out on 82 with 8 boundaries, and Moeen Ali was not out on 60 with nice 8 fours in that. And so, as I said, now it's all going to be, so the wicket takers were Mohammad Amir 2 wickets, Yasir Shah 2, and 1 to Sohail Khan. But definitely I have to say the Pakistani bowling left a lot to be desired. They could have still bowled much better. But let's get on to the main thing here. What is the main thing is that tomorrow tomorrow is the final day. They are leading by 311 runs right now, and it is going to be a moot point as to see when Alistair Cook, the English captain, is going to apply the declaration. Tomorrow is the final day, and probably half an hour really go hammer and tongs at the Pakistani bowlers in the morning session, and then probably give it to the Pakistan. But what an interesting final day's play coming up at Edgbaston in Birmingham. And now let's shift the attention to the last match in this particular cricket happening show, and that is going to be New Zealand versus Zimbabwe. New Zealand, all that I could say is that New Zealand are dictating terms on the first day. Guptill made 87, 11 fours and 1 6. Tom Latham, second consecutive test century. He was out to the last ball of the day, making 136 with 11 fours. He really showed some very good stroking down the offside. He was pretty strong through the cover region. Kane Williamson, as I said, by getting a ton tomorrow, he was not out on 95 with 8 fours, and it's only a matter of getting another 5 runs, and that Kane Williamson would have scored centuries against all test playing nations, and that would be a good achievement for Kane Williamson. So definitely dictating terms. They were 329 for 2 at close of play at Bulawayo on the first day's play. In fact, Zimbabwe strengthened it. They brought John Nimbu, they gave a test debut to Peter Moore, the opening batsman. But one has to wait and watch. Nimbu had 22 overs, none for 63, 1 for 58 for Trapano. I thought he was the best bowler on the day there. Chinoy also bowled a good line. I thought 15 overs, 5 minutes, none for 43. And Creamer got runs screamed off him by the Kiwi batsman. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think it's about time for me to put a wind on this cricket show for today. Hope you all enjoyed this cricket broadcast of mine. There's more to come tomorrow. That's on a Sunday. And what an interesting day's play coming up on the final day at Edgbaston in Birmingham. And everyone, go and hook on to me on Twitter with all my followers, because yesterday, for some reason, I do apologize to all my Twitter followers that I couldn't really come in and do some tweeting, but I will be back for tweeting once again. So keep an eye on Twitter, dear friends, and if you like it, please follow me on Twitter, and we can once again get together after the YouTube. Thanks for your company, and thanks for being on Cricket Happenings with me today. This is your host Ram, signing off for the day. Thank you.